here, don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where they boot stomp all night. What? Yeah, and what they call work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid to get your girl in your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys round here drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew tobacco, chew tobacco, chew tobacco, spit. Oh, heck. Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that y'all and southern drawl and just can't help it 'cause they just keep falling for the boys around here. Drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew tobacco, chew tobacco, chew tobacco, spit.
Let's ride through the countryside. Let's ride down to the riverside.
Hey now girl, hop inside. Me and you gonna take a little ride to the river. Let's ride. That's right. Lay a blanket on the ground. Kissing in the crickets is the only sound. We out of town. Have you ever got down with a do you wanna get down with a girl, you gotta get down with the boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew tobacco, chew tobacco, chew tobacco. I'm one of them boys round here, drinking that ice cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Chew tobacco, chew tobacco, chew tobacco, spit.
Welcome to the Wing It Call, November 25th, 2016. I'm sure, hold on. There we go. Just had to take care of some stuff there. I'm sure everybody had a great Turkey Day. Take a knee, please. Lord, thank you for all you have provided, that you will provide, your guidance, your patience, your wisdom. And we only learn through the pain and suffering which you talk about in the Bible to get us to understand things and open our eyes. You navigate us through life with this. You knew who we were before we were born. Yet your patience, wisdom, and grace is infinite. We just ask that you give us some more understanding, open our hearts, and maybe a little insight as to what you wish us to do. And we ask this in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Yeah, today would be a good day to star two and raise your hands. Yes, we got a lot to talk about. I'm going to unmute Wingman here. Yes, I have read, heard, people have called me. Hey, have you heard there's lots of action in Reno? I want to go back and say one thing. We've heard this before. Remain grounded. Let it play out. Let's see where it's going to go. Keep your fingers crossed. Hopium is a great thing, but I think that we're getting close. Still not going to give a date or a rate, and I've been saying that for a long time. But now on to the like I said, you'll probably raise your hands. I'm going to start it off like this. This is a very important announcement. Yes. Let me get this spit out, then I'll give you 10 minutes. This is a very important announcement. You might want to break out your pen and your calendar, or you can listen to the replay. That'll work too. But Wingman and myself are tired, and we're going to take a break. Now, that being said, please listen closely. I'm going to talk a little bit, and then Wingman is going to, because we both have something that we want to bring to the table here. I've discussed it with him, and I'm going to do this part. So, when will the WINGIT call have its final call? So here goes the dates. There will be 2 calls a week for the next 1, 2, sorry, let me go back up here. 1, 2, 3. For the next 3 weeks, there will be 2 calls a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. Then we hit the holidays in December. So the last week that there will be 2 calls in a week will be December 16th. The next week after that is the final 2 weeks in December. And I have selected, I've talked with Wingman. We were going to do Fridays, but Tuesdays seem to be a good date. So the last 2 weeks in December, December 20th and December 27th, will be a single call for those 2 weeks. So December 20th and the 27th will be the last 2 calls that are only once a week, and the very last call is December 27th. Wingman, why don't you take it from there?
Okay, so those are the dates. Now, what we want everybody to understand is those are not the dates because we know something. Okay? This is strictly Jerry's and my decision that all the intel is out there now. It's all out there. There's nothing more to say. We're just waiting for whoever is in charge of rolling this out to get her going. And other than that, everything is speculation. How it's going to roll out, what the rates are going to be, who gets to go first, who gets to go last. All of that stuff, guys, is 100% conjecture on anybody's part. I don't care where you're getting your intel from. So instead of just hashing this thing to death and getting sidetracked into politics, and we all saw what happened last week, what we've decided is we're just going to take a break. We're going to take a break for at least the month of January and see what's happened by then. And if we need to reevaluate, then we need to reevaluate. But don't take this as any great sign that we know it's going to end on December 28th or something like that. Please don't go there with all of this. This is strictly personal fatigue and overload. Everybody's got their opinion by now. And I don't think anybody's opinions are going to change. There's folks who like to listen to Joseph. There's folks who like to listen to others. Folks that like to listen to us, or Dizzy Bear. And I don't see that changing. I think everybody's pretty galvanized in their position and what their take on this whole thing is and what their expectations are. So, on a vacation. I think that pretty much sums it up.
And I want to say this also. The WINGIT website will still stay up. My Twitter page will still stay up. I just won't be having a call after December 27th. We're going to take the whole month of January off. I've got some personal things that need attending to that I have ignored for quite some time now. I hope you understand. If not, put yourself in my positions. Doing 2 calls a week. I looked at my cell phone bill the other day. Since I've started this, this is no better term to use than this one. I have killed, talking-wise, 2 Samsung Note 4 phones. Completely killed the talking circuit. And what made me the maddest is both of them just went out of warranty. Sorry, sir. So I had to bite the bullet and kept upgrading. That was just a little hard to swallow. So I've killed, and that means that I'm averaging 11,000 minutes a month myself. Yeah, that's a lot of yakking. My lips are tired. I'm tired. So we will again repeat this near the end of the call. But now Richard from Masters Trust wants to come in. He has a little tidbit he wants to share. And feel free to star 2 and raise your hand, because from now on, it is all about you, not about us. We're here to answer the questions. Richard, go ahead.
Can you hear me okay, Jerry?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. All right, good. I know it's time to come on.
Wait.
Yep.
I forgot.
All right.
The recording is started. I forgot the disclaimer. We're not attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors. This is not to be considered any form of financial or attorney facts. Please do your own research, and for the rest of the disclaimer, please go to thewingitcall.com and click on the disclaimer tab. Thank you.
Okay, I did want to come on today because when I start getting the same calls or emails or on several specific things from many people, I know it's time to come on, because if one person has a question about something or an observation, I know several people do. One of the things that I want to caution everyone about is listening to other types of calls regarding trusts and assuming that just because you heard something that it applies to this trust, the one that we have, Masters Trust. I've even had some people call me up and say, are you guys aware that you're doing things wrong? And I assure you that knowing the law firm in Houston, they are not doing anything wrong. Now, they may be doing things a little different based on the type of trust it is, but unless you actually can verify something in the site, and most of the questions or observations that people have can be found to answer their question in the website if they just dig in there enough. But several things have come up recently that I just want to address. One thing, which is a little bit of different news, is effectively October the 15th, the cost of the Masters Trust has gone up. Let me finish the whole thing before it's gone from $5,000 to $8,500. However, we have anyone who has we're holding the price for the Wing It call members and other groups through the end of the year. And the only thing that will change, I mean, even if someone wanted a trust with a layaway program, what we call the layaway program after the first of the year, the only thing that will change will just be the ultimate cost of the trust. We're not changing the deposit or anything else like that. It still is the 10%. Anyone who has additional contracts that are in, and anyone who has a serial number, a master trust serial number, will be able to hold the price on those also. If you've got them in, and I have a number of them, that'll be held too. But basically, until the end of the year, we're going to hold the $5,000 for all the Wing It members that want to add anything that they want to add. And then after that, it will go up, but the deposit will stay the same, so it makes it manageable for people to come in and get their layaways. A couple of things I've gotten from the same thing, so maybe some people are hearing the same things. And one thing that was on I'm going to address at the end here, but let me address one of the questions that I received, or several of the questions that I received from at least one client, and that is the trust bail-in proof? Effectively, yes, because when we have a trust account, and this is me talking now, just me personally, I'm going to have my trust account in the private side of the private bank of Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, regardless of what you've heard, is very solid. But even if it wasn't, and there was something that was considered to be bailed in, a trust account, especially a trust account in the master's trust, is virtually bulletproof, meaning that they have to go and get a court order to be able to, or anyone would have to be able to get into the trust, and a judge couldn't hear it, because a judge can't hear can't have a hearing on anything regarding this master's trust. So essentially, I think people ought to just be comfortable with the fact that, I mean, I personally don't think there's going to be a bail-in. That's my thought. It's not advice like Jerry gives you advice, but that's just my personal thought. So I don't think any of us have to worry. We all are going to, another question is, I've opened my trust bank account with a nominal deposit. Assuming the RV does not occur until 2017, would I be required to file a 2016 tax return? The answer is yes. We're going to be communicating with you, and we're going to give you the instructions about how to file your own 1041, which is going to be very, very simple. It'll be a zero tax return. But yes, in order to comply, we will have to file a tax return, but you have until April the 15th to do that. And because you don't owe money, you can actually get an extension to September the 15th, not October, but September the 15th. So everybody will be fine, and we'll communicate with you and show you how to do your own. Then the last thing that I want, actually the second to the last thing, let me back up, and I've mentioned this several times before. For those who have your trust on the layaway, and by the way, you do have a trust, I've received a deposit, the law firm's received a deposit, it is a valid trust, and you don't have to worry about that. But always be aware of things that may be coming up in your life that it might, and we're never going to change the deal that we made, but I've had several people that even though they heard it, be aware of things that may come up in your life to where it would create a taxable event if we didn't do certain things to help you. Selling of an investment property, cashing in some stock options. Be aware of those things in your life selling a house. Be aware of those things because it might be worth it to give us a call, and talk through what you might have going on, because it might, utilizing the trust the way it should be utilized, you can defer the taxes. We're not talking about avoiding taxes. You can defer the taxes into the trust, and there are ways that we can help you do that if that's something that may come up in your everyday life. Just be aware of it, and if you think something's coming up that might be helpful, just give me a call. Then the last thing was something that came up on the Wing It call, apparently, probably not Tuesday, but last Friday maybe. And a gentleman came on, and he represented that he was an accountant. And I know that something was mentioned effectively that there was a limit on the first $5 million. What was it, Gary?
Something like that, and you were maxed out at 5.4 million, or I didn't quite understand. That's why it was kind of over my head.
Okay, and here's what I think that coincides with the lifetime gift tax, the amount that you can give tax-free each year, which is 5.4 million. But keep in mind that doesn't apply to this. Because in this trust, there's no, even in revocable trusts, and I checked this out, even then, when you endow into a trust, that endowment is not subject to the gift tax. In order to take advantage of the gift tax, which is personal, by the way, it's only personal, it has nothing to do with a trust, you've got 5.4 lifetime, and you can give $14,000 a year. It has nothing to do with the trust. An endowment into the trust is not subject to the gift tax law. And the reason for that is very simple. In this trust, you're not giving it away. You have to give something away for it to be subject to the gift tax. And you're not. You're assigning it or endowing it into the trust. And if you want to get really technical about it, the trust doesn't own it. You no longer own it. It's being held in trust and controlled by the trustee for the benefit of the beneficiaries. And that's, I think, if the gentleman is listening that came in or that made that comment, he might give me a call. I can't imagine there's something we're missing, because I know that it's not subject to gift tax, and endowment, especially into this trust, is absolutely not subject to gift tax. But my phone number's in the website, and I would welcome a call. Maybe there's something I can help that gentleman with.
And your email address is rth6996 rth6996
Yep, that's it.
Thank
and
you,
that
Richard.
was really, that's all I really wanted. Thank you very much.
All right.
You want me to hang around, or
I'm sure if
there's any
you'd
questions?
like.
All right, I may just sit and listen. I'll sit and listen.
There you go.
Thanks.
So, one big thing. There's going to be somebody is going to fill the vacuum that I leave when I leave. Somebody always does. All I ask, and we've talked about this many times, is just use your discernment about what they're talking about. I hope that Wingman and myself have brought enough grounded information that if somebody starts up another call, that you'll be able to tell the difference between what's true and what's not true. So, *2 to raise your hand. Could be a short call. We got one person. I guess it's either shock or the button's broken. Raleigh, North Carolina, 919. Come on down.
Shocked is the word. We cannot end redneck radio. It's the best across the country and the world. But anyway, good news. How about them Cowboys?
Yes, sir.
All right. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for you to get a little excited about that one. Great game again, as always. Enjoyed it much. I do understand. I understand you guys. You know, we've been waiting and waiting, and like myself, I've been waiting almost 12 years. Somehow, some way, still patient enough to say this is going to happen. And, you know, what can you say? We're there. But I am going to miss redneck radio music. And Iko, thank you for everything. And we'll be around for the next couple of months. Thanks.
Thank you. Wingman.
Yeah.
Wingman. Ken, I'm going to... Yes.
Okay.
Hold on just a second. I've got to take a phone call here. If
Okay.
I'm going to go to the next caller, Canyon City, Colorado. If you can just handle that for a little bit for me. And
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, Iko.
Canyon City.
Hey, how
Hey,
you guys doing? You know, I couldn't get in on the call to start. Did I miss something? Are you guys shutting her down? Are you guys shutting her down?
Yeah, we're gonna wind it down over the month of December, and then take January off, and just if we need to, that's if we need to, and reevaluate the situation and see where we want to go from there. But we wanted to be very clear that this is not to be taken as an indication that we know something about a date. Okay? Just because we're stopping it on the 27th doesn't mean it's happening on the 28th. Okay?
You're stopping on the 27th of November?
No, of December. We're gonna do 2 calls a week for the next couple of weeks. The next 3 weeks actually, and then 1 call just before Christmas, and then 1 call in between Christmas and New Year.
Well, hopefully we won't have to do that, huh?
That's right. Hopefully.
Yeah, I didn't really have any questions. It's just that he said it was a short call, and I'm like, well, what the heck's going on?
Yeah.
I couldn't get on at all, and I tried, and finally I got on.
Well, it's, you know, again, just to elaborate a little bit, well, it's time for folks to basically really stand in whatever they believe about this. Okay, wherever they're at, whoever they want to follow, they need to. It's time for some self-reflection here, I think. And you know, really take a look at the information that's being given out all the time, and what you want to buy into and what you don't.
Yeah, if you've been in it any length of time at all and you're not clear on something, there's issues there. I mean, there's nothing more to say, really.
There isn't.
I just wanted to tell everybody too about the barbecue sauce. I'm in the process of moving right now, so I'm a little bit slow at getting back to some of the people that might have called about the barbecue sauce.
Yeah, don't and guys, don't forget the WINGIT website's still up. We've still got the Twitter account. Obviously, if we heard anything that needed to be communicated, Jerry's going to put out that there'd be a call, and that will get communicated. So don't panic about being left out in the breeze or anything like that. That's not the case. It's just we feel the calls have gotten a bit repetitious, and you know, there's a temptation to get off into politics these days, which is a big temptation.
Yeah.
And we don't want to go there. So.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
All right. Well.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
We'll be hanging around for a while.
All right. Orlando, 407. Come on.
How you doing this afternoon, Jerry and Iko? Hey, Jerry, I sent you an email to the WINGIT Call Gmail account. Did you happen to see that?
Well, I don't know. I get lots of them. What did it say?
It's about where General Dynamics got a $65 million cost plus contract straight from Iraq for the M1A1 Abrams and the M88 tracked vehicle recovery vehicle.
I saw that.
It's good to December 2017. They were awarded it yesterday, Thanksgiving Day.
When does it start? I was looking at that and I couldn't see it start.
Immediately.
Oh, cool. Well, that means if they're doing that, then yeah. Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Because who would have thought it? Because the article I read was dated. I came across it on the news clip when I emailed it to you. It said it was like 01:24 a.m. on the 24th. Yeah. Which was yesterday morning. Yeah. Exactly. So it's a true thing. I mean, it's definitely a true thing. So like we said in the last couple of calls, money's definitely moving. It has to be.
Absolutely.
So
I was reading that. And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I've just got a lot on my brain. I'm sidetracking myself here, but
okay.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that little tidbit.
Oh, you're welcome. Like I said, especially we're talking about infrastructure at this point and different things like that. So, it is what it is. You can take it for whatever it's worth. Like I said, I thought it was a good sign. I thought it was a real good sign, especially when they're doing it, especially when they're talking about a defense contractor here in the United States. So
that's true.
Well, I didn't realize. You have a very absolutely. Well, you all have a great evening, and this is one call, and we'll get through it. Like I said, it's got to be close. It has to be close with everything going on. It has to be that close. So,
and thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jerry, and thank you, Iko. Appreciate both of y'all. Thank you.
Well, Wingman, do you have anything else to say? I mean, Art's not in today. Can't really he doesn't have his portion to talk about, but he and I have been sidetracked while we've been talking about what we want to do. Yes, there's a lot of intel out there, but we're having to sift it out to see what's worthy and what isn't. But that little article the gentleman brought in, now that's good news. I'd forgot about it, and I thank him for bringing it in. That's good news. Money is moving.
That's right. Money's moving. Follow the money. Follow the money. Try and look at this thing as a straight business deal, guys. I know we all have our takes on how we got here, and they're all valid. And we all have our belief systems that we filter things through. But if you can try to reduce it to the lowest common denominator, what is this? This is a business deal. This is a planetary business deal. Everybody's decided they're going to try to get back to an asset-backed currency so that things are simplified, transparent, and all the mischief that was created by the fiat system and the powers that be since probably around the 16th century, all of that needs to be eliminated for the entire planet to move forward. So if you look at it from that standpoint, which is how the other 207 nations are doing, that's what makes sense. And that's what you need to pay attention to. The hopium's great. I know a lot of people need that hopium. They need it. And it's evidenced by here we are, every day they're calling it, every day. And every day it doesn't happen. And every day they call it again. And look at all the people who buy into it. That's a huge statement about who's involved in this currency transaction.
There's over on, I think it's on Dinar Chronicles, a guest poster named JT had a very good, had an excellent post breaking it down about how can if it's a bond note, you can't lop any zeros off, and who does it make sense to if there's no zeros lopped off of $1 trillion note and it's 56,000 to 1? Now, who does that make sense to? It's
right.
Right. If I find it, I'll try to tweet that out, but it's over on Dinar Chronicles. So, you know, we might have a short call, Ico, because we've been asking for callers. I'm sorry if you're in shock. We've shocked them because there's nobody else with their hand raised.
Yep.
We'll see what happens
and also,
here. I mean,
guys, be aware of who comes in to fill the void that we've been filling. You know, we have been, for better or for worse, right or wrong, we're considered the voice of reason here in all of this, because we're not making predictions and we're not talking rates and dates. We're trying to temper all of that information out there. So this is going to leave a big gap, and it's going to get filled, because nature abhors a vacuum. So, you know, look for that. See who shows up. See who maybe is going to turn up the volume if there's nobody around to shut them down. Just be aware of all that. But this is all great practice for post RV when we do have to be alone in our decisions, and that's not going to be an easy thing. But that's the bottom line. Someday we will be alone in our decisions about our own wealth and our own lives, and we won't have this constant bombardment of confusion thrown at us. So,
well, let's take a caller here.
Okay.
Might be the same one. Raleigh, 919.
Yeah, it's the other 919. Hey. Sorry to hear about you guys going, but completely understand. I'm the guy who asked about the trust calls being recorded, and I was just wondering if you ended up getting that problem resolved.
Not yet, but I'll dig into my I'll dig into my personal recordings and try to send you an MP3. How's that? You just have to tell me which one.
I'll send you an email.
Okay, yeah. Don't say all of them if you can be kind of specific.
No, I'll put the dates on it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hey, one more question. Date and rate. What are they?
Let me see. Hold on, I got it. Did you catch that?
I did. That's what I thought.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Orlando, Florida, 407.
It's me again, Jerry. Hey, one more quick thing. You all talking about a void. I'm going to tell you all right now. Me and you talked enough off the side and things like that I told you if this call went away, this is going to be the last one I got on. I don't like any information from anybody else. So if anybody does try to fill a void, like I agree with everything that Ico and you said, is because it's grounded to the earth so well that, you know, if you want to listen to somebody else, go ahead. But this is the best call right here. This is it. And like I said, you all are going to keep your Twitter feed going. You're going to keep the website up, and you're not going to let us down. I know that for a fact. And I encourage anybody that if you want to listen to somebody else.
And the email will also stay up. But please do not barrage me on the emails. Okay?
Absolutely not. Not a problem.
I don't mind answering a few, but for somebody at the high point, there was like 100 emails a day coming in, and this was a couple months back. Now it's down to a reasonable amount coming in that I can deal with.
That's cool. That's good for you. That's good for you because we all need a break. We all do. All of us. You know, we're on this thing. Like I said, I've been in this thing since 2003, and like I said, I was there when they first started letting it out of country. And you know, it's just downright crazy. But I really feel in my heart, Jerry and Ico, that we are so close that this is actually the calm before the storm actually hits, because like you said, it's going to be depends. when it finally goes.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
Oh, and before I bring in Pensacola here, I want to say this again. It's been a roller coaster ride, but I'm going to put that to a side. It's been my pleasure, and especially with Wingman, because we are a team. The call is only half as good if I only have just me. Wingman is, because we're diversified and different, it makes the call. It's been my pleasure to bring information to you. Occasionally I get a little passionate. And as I was reminded the other day, Jerry, it was that cussing call that just sent things sideways. And I said, I understand. I try to refrain myself, but occasionally it slipped out. Again, my apologies, but I'm just passionate about certain things. And that's the redneck that pops out. It's been my pleasure. Pensacola, come on down.
Yes, sir.
850.
Yeah, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. I just have a comment. I've been in this for a while, too, and appreciate everything that you guys do. I certainly do, and I've been listening to you for a while. My family has. And just, we're in that post-Thanksgiving time of year again where it seems like, we were been ramped up, and now we're kind of punting to after the first of the year, so to speak. Just comments, thoughts, etc. Not trying to get in anybody's, be ugly or anything. Just thoughts on it. Been around it for a while, so just sounds like just another year.
And I would like to say I agree with you, but there are some small things that are a little bit different, like these articles coming out. Ink, as people say, when it's in ink, I believe it. Well, we've had a discussion about who you can and can't believe in the paper, right. But when you start seeing the articles about contracts letting, especially here in the U.S., people going to Reno, we've heard a lot about that. There's some things that I'm not privy to that I take an educated guess, and sometimes I'm way off base. But I think that we're right there. You ever heard the term "out with the old, in with the new"?
Yes.
I think we're there. Does that make sense?
Well, sort of. Yeah, it does. I mean, like I said, everything I recognize is really an educated guess. I mean, I recognize that. And I mean, even the best intel is only a piece of that. None of us have the whole puzzle and everything. It just, I'm not one to be ramped up too much, but, it's been ramped up and ramped up and ramped up. And it's just, it's like, I don't know if it was you or I, Coach said, it's been a long ride. It's a roller coaster. And, sometimes it's just kind of tiring, I guess, is the thing. I'm not fussing or anything like that at anybody. I just make a comment about it. So.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Take care. Thank you again.
Uh-huh. Another little footnote here, and then I'll bring in Galveston. Want to talk about not throwing anybody underneath the bus on this next stuff here. It's just an observation. So we have Team Yosef, Team Clark, and Team Mountain Goat. They're all the same team. On the same team. I think there's probably, could be just two people, and there might be a dozen people behind the scenes. But it's different people. And I think that they try to keep things calm and stirred up. Look at Team Yosef. Keep them calm, keep them happy. Mountain Goat, I'm making a statement. If you don't like it, kiss the goat, but this is it. Keep them stirred up. Dr. Clark, kind of in the middle. I'm making a statement. It's going to happen. Well, it didn't happen. I'm wrong. my bad, bash me, throw me underneath the bus. Same group of people writing for the same teams. Just my observation. To keep people in that predicament, up, down, middle, left, right. Galveston, come on down.
I'm not sure if I'm unmuted.
You are?
Okay. I just want your and Heiko's opinion on the current rumor mill about if you purchase Zim after July of this 2015, it's not valid.
No, I think it's the 15th.
I don't know. I have never heard that rumor.
Yeah, I never heard that either.
Well, am I wrong?
It's on the website. It's
Yeah.
on the North Chronicles.
Yeah. Somebody in one of the websites was questioning if that's what they had heard. And my second part of the question, you addressed this several months ago, but at what point do the people in charge have the currency exchange, these sellers? When do they stop selling? Do they start when this thing is stop selling when it's released? Does it continue, or what's your take on that?
Go ahead, Wingman.
Yeah, you know what? I'll give you a great hint, or not a hint. That's the wrong word. Here's an example of what might happen. Okay, I don't know how many people read about it because it was very low key, but this past Monday in India, they voided 86% of their currency. The Prime Minister came on television and said the 100 rupee note and the 500 rupee note is going to be invalid by December 30th. You need to get to the bank and change those notes for other denominations because you will not be able to spend a 100 or 500 rupee note as of January 1st. That's 86% of their circulated currency. And he just came on television and said it, and that was it. Done. I'm not saying that's going to happen. That's not going to happen with every currency, but it will be. It could be that, it could be that simple. I don't know who, the UST, who the Fed, I don't know who actually controls it. They could just get on the phone one morning and call all of these houses that are licensed. They're not that many, and say, hey, you can't do this. As of 5 o'clock this afternoon, you can't sell any more dinar. You can't buy it back. You can't do anything with it. It could be that. It could be that simple and that easy, but that's not a good word either. But you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
I think the mechanics of all of this have been very well planned out, and those aren't going to be our issues. And I also believe that let's see, how can I put this? The plan for the rollout, because of the changes in the volume of people that have to be handled, are probably not as simple or as straightforward as we were led to believe. And I'm going to say, at the height of Tony's popularity, there was a model put out there, and we all still basically use that model in as a basis for our thinking. And that model may have changed, but nobody knows. Nobody who proclaims they know what the model is, I don't think they really know. And it's not that we're going to get screwed or anything like that. Things are going to be very different than what has been put out. And Terry likes to say be flexible. And And yeah, you got to be flexible, but you also, we always have to go back to the fact that this is happening with 208 countries, not just happening in the United States anymore. And for a while there, that's how it was, but not anymore. It's not.
Did that help you out, sir?
Has caught up.
Yes. My wife was one who read that. The Dinar Chronicles posted that this is an urgent message. Zim purchase after July 15, 2016 will not be redeemable. Now, how does that make sense to anybody?
Right. You can't redeem one and not redeem the other.
Right. I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you guys.
Yeah. They were all printed at the same time.
Right.
What day you purchased it has nothing to do with the price of tea and Zim, probably. That's for sure. So, you know.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
And, you know, that just reminded me I need to make an announcement here. Soil Dude called me today, and there's been a slight faux pas, or as I like to call it, a foxpow. There's a lady in Bend, Oregon. Soil Dude's hanging his head because he's lost your phone number. He cannot call you back. So the lady in Bend, Oregon, would you please call the number on the website again? They have lost your phone number, and I've chastised them quite well. He's having to get some chapstick out right now. A WINGIT call member that you lost in the clutter? Oh my. So the lady at Bend, Oregon, please either raise your hand, or if you're listening, or call Soil Dude. He's ashamed and he wants to make amends. All righty. We'll get to the swirl to the left here in just a minute. Cheyenne, Wyoming. Come on down.
Hello, Jerry. How are you today?
Not bad.
Good. Glad to hear it. Hey, a week ago, Auburn was on your show, and she was talking about a $1.13 international rate in Iraq.
That was in country only.
Okay. Then on Ray Ren's show, he was seeing different rates from within Iraq, 86 to $1.80. And let's see. I was wondering also, you know, they're going to have the vote on the 2017 budget, as well as an amended amnesty law. And I'm assuming that all of these economic, fiscal, and investment laws, reforms, and amendments are all being included in that budget. Are we kind of waiting for that?
I'm glad you brought that up, and thank you for that. I'm trying to keep the call down to just a little over an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and mute you out, but I'm going to answer your question.
Thank you.
So it's not all about Iraq, but keep your eye on it, because the little tidbits they do will let us know how things are progressing. Take a couple steps forward, a couple back. I know that's their modus operandi, but they keep moving forward. So keep an eye on their little tidbits that they're doing, that they're putting in the paper. It'll give us a good indicator of where we're at. We just have to use discernment. Like I say, they put out disinformation through their own newspaper, but we're smart enough, we can look at it and say, wait a minute, you know, I smell a little BS here, but within that BS is that little nugget of truth. We just have to dig to find it. And there's enough of us, we can do that. So I hope that answers your question. Yes, Auburn, I see you down there with your hand raised. Give me just a second. Beaverton, 503.
Well, good morning, Jerry. And Iko,
Morning.
I just want to tell you, both you gentlemen, thank you very much. A friend of mine just turned me on to your call several months ago, and I've got a notebook full of notes from you guys, and it's just a compendium of wisdom. So I just want to honor both of you.
Oh no, burn it, because that's going to get us in trouble. Don't do that. Burn
yeah,
it.
We're going to get
it
printed out.
Oh Lord, no.
Anyway, I'm glad you had a good Thanksgiving, and I know this isn't a tryptophan hangover you're having, so I appreciate your time and everything that's going on. And that was really the main thing. And just real quick, Iko, if we're not going to be around further on, you had some words a couple of months ago about what investments do you recommend going forward into 2017?
Try to keep it brief.
Yeah, real brief. I tell you, here's the smartest information. Here's the what are you going to call it? The advice I've been given is don't do anything until the third quarter of 17. Just park the money, and the market is going to still go berserk for a while. And now we've got another wild card in which we didn't expect, and that's Mr. Trump. Good or bad, the markets had assumed Hillary was going to get in, and they were all set to operate in a certain manner. Now that's out the window. So that's just more evidence to just hang out and don't do anything. I mean, you can test market here and there. And IPOs are of course IPOs. They're a completely separate thing in the markets. But the best advice is to just get real conservative and see what happens for half a year before you go doing anything with large money.
Well, I thank you. I honor both of you, and may the blessings come and see you on the other side of the RV.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And just one last little tidbit, and then we're going to bring Auburn in, and then after Auburn, we're going to get our squirrel to the left. Just remember, he with the gold makes the rules. Right now we have no gold, so he maketh no rules. So when we do have a little bit, just remember where you came from. Auburn, come on down.
Hey, Jerry, how are you?
Good.
So I just wanted to address the gentleman that had the question about the $1.13 rate. I want everybody to understand we don't know why Iraq is doing what they're doing. We don't know why they're not going as public right now with it. But I can honestly tell you, I know so many boots on the ground over there that say that the $1.13 is in use. The lower denomination bills are in use. They still don't have the coins in use, as of yet. But, we don't know why they're doing what they're doing, and we're trying to figure that out. And I know a lot of the boots on the ground have been instructed to not pass their information across the pond. I've been fortunate enough to get some information, and I keep trying to get more. So there's going to be a lot of bad intel out there. Just, research it, try to do as best you can, and just be patient, because I still feel that we're at the end of this as well, and I think that they can only not be public with this for so long. So I just wanted to bring that in, okay? And I hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving. Thanks.
Thanks. Swirling to the left. Always to the left.
Always, always, always. And it's clumsy for a right-handed person, if you get my drift.
Yes.
I think absolutely.
How you doing?
Well, listen,
How you doing today?
first of all, happy Thanksgiving, Jerry and Iko, and pass that along to Art as well. Sometimes you wonder about ironies. Last night I had to work a night shift, and I just happened to have the chance to have a conversation with a private banker of one of the big banks here. And I held off on asking questions until I got done with what I needed to get done. And then I said, I'm just kind of curious, because at a private bank, you pretty much deal with the big money people, isn't that correct? And she kind of grinned and said, yeah, that's right. And so I said, have you heard anything about any change in currency? And she said, well, there's always changes in currency. And I said, no, I'm talking about an event where there's going to be several currencies that are going to change and kind of come into an equal quality within the world as a whole. And she got this kind of a puzzled look on her face, and she said, well, there's been some conversation, but nobody can put the finger on who's talking about it or who's going to do it, but they've been talking about it. She says, we've never heard this before. And I didn't press her any further, but I found that to be kind of ironic. One, that she would be the person that I happened to see just by chance, and yet that she was from that element of the banking system that the average person doesn't get to participate with. And I found that kind of interesting. I don't want to say it was overly encouraging, but it certainly, the fact that she didn't say, no, there's absolutely no chance of, a bunch of countries getting together and having their currencies equalized to each other. And so for me, that was probably the take-home point that I took from it. And given the volatility of the world economic stage right now, I just think timing-wise, it makes sense that sooner than later there would be a change, and that's the change I believe we're all looking for. So I just found that to be interesting, and thought I finally had something kind of concrete to share with everybody, so that from a different part of the world.
Well, thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
Good to hear from down under. All righty.
Well, I had to call in about 4 times. I had to call in about 4 times to get through.
Well, I'm sorry. Things are busy today.
Well, and the other thing that kind of comes to mind is the fact that taking a break and cutting the call frequencies and that kind of stuff down and so forth, I think that's a good idea too, because it does get to the point when there is nothing new or the feeling that there is nothing new, that all that does is add to the frustration. And I think ultimately that if the frequency is cut down a bit, people will be more, hopefully more prepared, given the extra time that they're going to have to not be waiting on the call and actually figure that one thing to do is to get ready, so that you can be ready. And I think that was always sage advice. So that's all I got. You bet.
Thanks a lot.
Well, interesting call today. This is just going to give everybody a chance to reevaluate. It's going to give me a chance to get a few more ducks in a row. That 11,000 minutes a month, and by the way, besides 2 phones, I've got a high-end Bluetooth. I'm still underneath warranty. I've went through 5 of the damn things, and and the company goes, "What are you doing?" All I got to do is just have AT&T pull up my minutes a month, and they'll go, "Ooh, he's talking, this much," and they're going, "Okay." So I've went through 5 or 6 of those. My ear's tired. I don't, part of the left side of my head's going to be out of balance when I take the damn thing off. Iko, give us some parting words of wisdom.
Well, my favorite Far Side cartoon has always been Mr. Osborne, can I go home now? My brain is full. And that about sums it up for me. One thing I know in my own process is that sometimes it's good to completely walk away from a problem and let my brain work on it all by its lonesome. And then one morning I'll wake up, be driving down the road and go, there it is. So that's what I'm hoping is going to occur here. And again, I can't stress enough, guys. And I'll refer back to Tony too, that he said it. When we get close, the amount of nonsense that's going to be out there is going to be beyond belief, and the nonsense has already started flowing. It's only going to get worse. But what's nice sometimes about confusion is things get so confused that the one thing you want to find stands out like a sore thumb. And that's what I'm looking for now. I'm looking for that one piece that I haven't been able to see yet, and then go from there. So that's it. We'll see you Tuesday.
And I just want to reaffirm that as we slow down and draw back, there's going to be people that will fill the vacuum. Just use your discernment. At the very beginning, you will remember me saying, I'm just a flavor of the month. That's all we are. Well, flavors run out. Now it's just realistic. That's it. So, and you were skeptical at first until, that's what I wanted to say. It has been my privilege, as I've done these calls, to grow, understand a little bit more, be a little more patient and tolerant, because I find as I get a little older, I get a little grumpier, and I don't know why. Well, I do, but I'm not going to say. And so I'm trying to live under this. If God has shown me this much patience and grace, why can't I do the same? Because occasionally I get a little when I shouldn't. And if I have with any of you, I do apologize. Some days there's bleed over that causes that I bring onto the call with me, and I shouldn't. So there's my apology. And I think that's about it for everything. So, Wingman, take it away.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye.